Hey, 7th and 8th grade general art class. Welcome to your tutorial on lesson 2 for this school year. So in lesson 2, we're going to continue to be learning about and talking about self-portraits. In our first lesson, we talked about the difference between a visual self-portrait and a traditional self-portrait, also the difference between portraiture and self-portrait. So we're going to be building on that, and in this lesson, in this art project, you're going to actually be creating a little bit more of a traditional self-portrait where it's actually going to reflect your face, but we're going to be reflecting the style of Roy Lichtenstein and learning about the pop art movement. So this is called the Roy Lichtenstein self-portrait. Roy Lichtenstein was a pop artist who was inspired by comic book strips, and you will be learning in your Google slide all the details about Roy Lichtenstein and pop art. Those are some key terms for lesson 2. So be sure to check out the Google slide under lesson 2. Read all of that information so you have that down. Understand who Roy Lichtenstein was, his style, and as well as the pop art movement. The objectives for this lesson is to be able to recognize characteristics of the pop art movement and Roy Lichtenstein, to continue to understand what a self-portrait is and be able to create one. Also, you're going to be learning about what a focal point is and how to create a focal point in your artwork. All right, so follow along in this video. This is just going to be step 1 of your Lichtenstein self-portrait. I hope you enjoy. All right, for this project, the materials that you are going to need are a printed image of yourself. So you're going to need to take a picture of yourself or have someone take a picture of you, and then you're going to want to email that picture to yourself and enlarge it onto a Google slide or a Google Doc and try and fill the space of the paper as best as you can, as large as you can get it to fit on your paper. You can see mine, this is as big as I could get it on a Google slide, so it's up to you. And then you'll want to print it out in grayscale, so you don't need to print it out in color. Grayscale is fine. Be sure to check out, really the first step is to be sure to read through your Google slide, learn about Roy Lichtenstein, our pop artist that we are featuring in this lesson, because that might help you determine what kind of face you might want to have for your Roy Lichtenstein self-portrait. He often reflected comic book strips, so if you want to do something a little bit more dramatic and reflect sort of an emotion, you may. You can do just a regular smile face. I would avoid showing your teeth because teeth are kind of hard to transfer in this artwork, but I'm not going to say you can't do it. If you're up for the challenge, go for it. So think about your facial expression and maybe what you want to say, because you are going to be having, in the end, a thought bubble coming from your portrait. So that might affect what sort of facial expression you want to portray. So think about maybe what kind of message you want to send through your self-portrait. So take a picture of yourself, print it out large in grayscale on just your copy paper. So you're going to need that for this lesson. You're going to need then a regular piece of 8.5 by 11 drawing paper. Sketchbook paper will do. You could even use copy paper. Copy paper runs a little thin, but you can make it work for this lesson. And then you will need a pencil, eraser, and a Sharpie. To add color, we're going to use colored Sharpie and then watercolors. But you really, when we get to that step, we'll talk more about different options if you don't have watercolor paints at home. We will be using a window because we're going to be doing some tracing and outlining, and we'll need that window light, or if you have a light box, we don't even have one at school, so I highly doubt you have one. But make sure that you have access to some sort of window where you can be able to trace from that light coming through the window. Okay, that was kind of a lot of information. But for step 1, all you need is your printout of your self and your paper, pencil, eraser, and Sharpie for step 1. All right, here we go. First, you're going to take your grayscale image of yourself and a Sharpie, and you are going to outline all of the major details of your face, your hair, your facial features, your shoulders, and your clothes with a black Sharpie marker. Because printout paper is kind of thin, you might want a placemat or some sort of scrap paper underneath your photo paper, just because the Sharpie tends to bleed through. All right, so I'm outlining my face, I'm outlining my hair. You're going to want to not just do the big outline, but also get a couple of those highlights inside your hair so it doesn't look like you're wearing a helmet. And then you'll want to outline your shoulders. Really, the more details you can outline, the better, because you can always, after the fact, after we transfer this to your actual art paper, drawing paper with pencil, you can take things out with the pencil. So really, the more details you can outline, the better, and then you can make decisions later on which lines you want to leave out. If you don't have enough lines, then it's going to be less likely to look like you. So outline the details of your hair, and then you're going to go in and outline your eyebrows, outline your eyes, do your eyelashes, any wrinkles that you might have in your face. Go ahead and draw a line on it. Like I said, later you can choose to erase those wrinkle lines with your pencil after we transfer it if you don't want them. It's better to have too much information right now than not enough. Outline your nostrils, your nose, your lips, all of those details with Sharpie. Once you've outlined all the details of your face and your shoulders and your hair using black Sharpie, you're going to take your drawing paper, your clean drawing paper, same size, 8.5 by 11, and your photocopied image outlined with Sharpie. You're going to need a pencil and eraser, and you're going to go to a window or some sort of light source where you can be able to trace and see through. So now you're taking your pencil, you're overlapping your two pieces of paper, you're taking your pencil and you're just tracing those lines, those Sharpie lines that you outlined all of the main details of your face, hair, and shoulders and clothes onto your clean drawing paper. Once you've traced all the details of your face, hair, and shoulders and clothes onto your drawing paper, you can now do some adjusting with your pencil, and you can take out lines if there were wrinkles that you don't want, or if you felt like you needed more highlights in your hair, more lines in your hair so it didn't look so much like a helmet. This is when you'll make those adjustments. Once you're happy with your outline of your self-portrait, then you're going to take a Sharpie and you're going to outline all of your pencil lines. So all of your pencil lines. Once you've outlined all pencil lines, you're going to take an eraser, clean everything up. We shouldn't see any pencil. It should be a nice, clean, hard outline and black Sharpie of yourself. All right, and that completes step 1. A nice, clean outline and black Sharpie of yourself. Please check out the next video for step 2.